So, Dark Luminosity. Like it says on a tin, it's the music I made in the 21st century, so early on, right from 2000 really. A lot of stuff before that has been on compilations. God, there was already enough by that point. I don't know how many albums I've made. I've lost track. I just love doing it, keep doing it. Anyway, what makes that time a little bit different, what characterises it was I still was making world music. I was still going into studios. I was using Intimate in Wapping, in Pennington Street. I was still going, doing stuff like molam Lao. Still going in doing world music records. We ended up doing Chinese dub, Japanese dub. So we were doing the big world music productions, working at places like Parr Street. But I was doing a lot of stuff on my own as well. In fact, a lot of Chinese dub I did in my little home studio. So I had a Yamaha RS700 sequencer, and I had that midied up to a couple of AW16s or something, or 165s, Yamaha workstations. So you had all the knobs and the faders. No puns, please. So you could twist the knobs and work the faders and all that stuff. It was really good, and the demarcation line, which is what I'm always into breaking down, between writing, recording, mixing, post-production, it becomes one action really. It's not broken up. And I was able to do that more, and I was able to have a little kind of like a little alchemist working with I even started using a lot of bass effects at that time. I had a big bass effects unit, different bits of outboard gear. So it was all kind of nice mix of analog and digital. And I always got fed up in the years before that, especially back in the 70s and 80s, when you use these big studios, famous studio complexes, and you'd record, and you'd take so long to set up a drum sound, and then you do your recording, and then the recording's finished. Now we mix, and all the faders have come down on the desk, and now we are now mixing, and we've got to get that exactly right. And so everything's a bit uptight and a bit fucking precious, really. I think a lot of the time spans in music should be similar to cooking a meal. How long does it cook to cook a good meal? How long does it take to cook, a small banquet? And to cook a good meal, a really good meal, maybe 3 courses with preparation time and all that, should be 5 or 6 hours. That's what it should take for a track, really. If you're really working and your consciousness is open and stuff, and so it's all about everything becomes a extension of your consciousness, really. Not only the holding the bass guitar, but the mixers and everything. Working with the mixers, the 2 mixers I had. You had loads of virtual channels, as well as the 16 that were out in front of you. 2 lots of 16. I think I got the best bass sound, some of the best bass sounds I've ever had with that setup. So I mean, stuff like there was elevator music. There's some that's you can really hear the RS700 kind of thing, which I would have. If it wasn't for software, it would have taken the world on. That was, it's a great big sequencer led on from those Akai and those smaller Yamaha sequencers. Alpha 1-3 is another album where I'm really pushing the limit with all that. As well as if you hear something like Happy Tibetan Girl, which isn't on this compilation. I think it's been on previous ones. and that's got, I'm using vocal tuning, but to make a chord really throughout the track, affecting the delays with that, putting different harmony vocal effects on the delay, as well as having a big stereo kind of delay on the vocals, and that gives you a good idea of what I was doing. So it was very quite ecstatic at times, the feeling that I had as I recorded. You know, it was really felt special, you know. So that was it. That was kind of what was going on at that period. So I hope that gives you some kind of idea of what it was about, you know. And I think part of what I got into then was this idea of getting lost in the absoluteness of it all, because that's the way I'd kind of been heading in that little period building up to then. Kind of, it's the audio version of when you look at the ocean and you want your localized consciousness to be lost in the absolute universal consciousness somehow of that ocean. It's a desire for obliteration in a way, like the death of ego or something. And audio wise, that's what I was always looking for the total immersive experience. And so hopefully all this garbled stuff I've just talked about, hopefully that gives you a good idea of when you listen to it, you also get immersed in that. You know, that was always the feeling. I was becoming in this state, coming into this state of transcendence and kind of universal consciousness, for want of a better term, you know. And I always wanted that to be conveyed to the listener, you know. You've also got there's a lot of spoken word on there as well. One of the things I did, I went and kind of locked myself away and recorded a load of poetry as well, and that became a book, Odds and Sods and Epilogues, and we did like audio versions of those poems, sets of music, so that's on there, all kinds of stuff. But the main thing underpins it was this, you know, kind of the path, in a way, musical path getting narrower for me as the horizons got kind of broader, you know. As I say, this breaking down of demarcation lines, as it were, with recording and mixing. So it's just this one flowing thing, you know. You're dubbing it all and you're going into this other state. Anyway, hopefully all that makes sense. Have a very, very nice rest of the day. See ya.